In this video, we're going to talk about a new technique that makes open source LLM models a whole lot better at doing Python stuff. So to kick off this demo, let's open up open code. And for this demo, I'm going to be using Kimi K 2.5. It's certainly a decent model, maybe not the best one in terms of model size or anything like that. But the reason why I love it is because it is nice and quick. So what I can do from here is say, hey, let's pair up to work on a Marimo notebook together. And the moment that I do this, you're going to notice a skill gets triggered. We can also see that it notices that there are no Marimo servers running, and it's going to try to actually start one. And there it is, new empty notebook. So the notebook is running, I can import Marimo, this all looks good, and now I can actually tell it to maybe do something. And just notice what's going to happen. Now, one thing about the project that I'm in, by the way, there is a folder here called Brazil Web Shop, and there's a ton of CSV files in there. And what I would really like to know is what the revenue per day is. I want to know the revenue per day, use the CSV files in the folder, and make a chart. And again, let's pay attention to what it's going to do. It's looking for CSV files and it's able to inspect some of them. But then what you're going to notice is that it's actually trying to execute some normal Python code on your behalf. And it's going to check if it works. And I can see on the notebook on the side that things are failing because packages aren't installed yet. But that's something that the agent can actually handle for us and trigger on our behalf. Now, to get a glimpse of what's happening here, one thing you can see is that it's actually listing snippets of code sometimes, and that the agent has access to something known as context. The way to think about it is that we basically gave the agent access to a scratch pad that lives inside of the Marimo notebook, and that it can also access all the variables. So you're not just looking at files on disk or maybe terminal command output. No, you are actually able to access all the variables, and it's also able to detect when something is therefore breaking. I don't have to tell it to look at an error message. Anything that's happening internally here is something that it can access. And the first thing to notice, by the way, is that we get our chart and it is looking pretty good. But just to emphasize the fact that I just said, one thing I could do now is I could say import random from Python, and I could do something like random.random and put that in a variable A. And I can right now look at that variable A and see that it has a specific value. And if the agent were to run this again, it would have a different value there, right? But to demonstrate, we actually do have access to that variable. What is the value of A in the notebook right now? And there we go. It's again using the scratch pad. It again has that context, and it's able to look for all the globals defined. It's able to find this A variable in those globals, and therefore it is able to report the exact same number. And there we have it. The agent and the notebook are in sync. And why is this so crucial? Well, it lets agents be much better at fixing their own problems. They need way less babysitting from us. And perhaps one way to think about it is that this puts an additional harness on anything that you might want to do in a Python notebook. Even if you're using open code with your favorite open source model, and that means that you can get a lot of mileage out of tokens, even if you don't have a subscription. In this case, though, let me just have a quick look again. Let me just delete some of these cells because I don't think they're needed anymore. It's using a library right now called pandas. I don't like that, so I can tell it to use polars instead. And also for the chart, no need to add that red line. And from here, I can see things are installing, the notebook is updating, code is running, and there we go. The chart looks better and the code looks a bit better as well. The final thing I want to show is in Marimo, you of course have these user interface elements, right? So I could add a slider just for fun. I could put that into a variable, and I could do something like, hey, let's take the value out of that slider and add the number 1 to it. In this case, I've got a UI element, and I can slide around and I can see values over here update, but I can also ask the LLM to change that slider value. And click. I can also inspect the chat, by the way. You can see that the agent has grabbed the slider. You can see that the agent is setting a UI value for it as well. And I can also confirm in the notebook that the number moved and the output is what I expect it to. So not only do we have a nice harness to make sure that the LLM can actually fix its own problems, we even have a shared canvas in the sense that any UI element that I as a human can interact with, the agent can interact with as well. Now, to be clear, everything that's happening here is happening because of a skill. So you could theoretically also use Claude or Codex or something like that. But the main thing that I've noticed in my own personal work is that these open source models now become a whole lot more viable when you're doing serious work. They were already really good, but by giving them access to this additional harness, they can do more than you might otherwise do with them. Now, If you are keen to give this a spin yourself, there is this skills library that you can use via npx, and you can say, hey, let's add a new skill, and you can go to the Marimo team, and there is a repository called Marimo pair. Run this command. You might have to install the latest version. That's fine. Now, by default, it's going to install these skills for open code, as well as a bunch of other universal definitions, and you also get Claude code. That's also fine. I typically like to install my skills on a project level, but you could also install this globally in your home directory. You can proceed with the installation, and then you are going to be done. You can also have a look at these skills, by the way. So that's the Marimo pair folder, and you can see that there are also some scripts in here. And if you're feeling adventurous, one thing that is actually kind of fun to do is just have a look at what this execute code script does. It is a whole lot of bash, but this is the code that's going to make sure that you can connect to Marimo and that the agent can also run Python code in the scratchpad to help you save a whole lot of time. Now, with that said, the final thing I guess I want to say is give these open models a spin. They can do more than you might think, especially when you have these kinds of extra harnesses built to your software.